come on, just say it, you f***ing goose. Okay, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alan, this is my life in Taiwan, and welcome back to glorious, sunny Taipei. Yes, I'm back here in Taipei, filming an incredibly exciting series of videos that you're no doubt going to be able to get to see very soon. But anyway, yes, you've seen the title of the video. You've no doubt inferred that it's going to be a very personal, sharing kind of video. But basically, I just want to really get to connect a little bit more with my subscribers. If I'm asking you guys to help me out by watching the videos and subscribing, I feel it's kind of only fair that I let you into my life a little bit and get to see how the more personal side of life is here when it gets a bit difficult. Basically, let's see how many times have I had my heart broken in Taiwan. And the first one, I'm sure this will be absolutely no surprise to the people that have watched my channel before or long-term followers, is that the day that William left Taiwan was undoubtedly the biggest moments of heartbreak that I've experienced. But to be honest, the blow was actually softened rather well because we left Taiwan as a family together, went to England for Christmas in 2016. And then in January 2017, William and his mum went to South Africa from England, and I came back to Taiwan alone. And that was the roughest, most difficult time to get through. But I got through it, and actually that was the time that I started my YouTube channel. And at that time I was building up subscribers relatively slowly, but all of those subscribers that were there at the start, if you're still here now, you guys really helped me get through that heartbreak. There is a little bit of a support network created around my YouTube channel, but if I didn't have that, I feel like most of the time people in Taiwan try to just ignore the darker parts of life and just get on with focusing on the brighter side. So that's what I try to do, try to focus on the bright side and don't think too much about it. Look forward to a future possibly where me and William can be together, maybe when he's in high school, he can study in Taiwan, something like that. But anyway, that's number one. I'm sure that's absolutely no surprise to many of you that when William left, my heart was absolutely broken. And it breaks every day that I wake up without him. Right, okay, and on to number two. The second of my heartbreaks in Taiwan, for me, the situation in Hong Kong is heartbreaking. Personally, as a British guy, I do feel like somewhat of a more of a connection to Hong Kong than maybe some other Westerners do. Not to mention the fact that me and Amor, William's mum, we actually got married in Hong Kong in 2009, and it quickly became one of our favorite cities in the world. Any chance we got, we would take a short flight from Taichung to Hong Kong and have a bit of a fun, more westernized style weekend there. But unfortunately now I think that is gone. The chances of us going to Hong Kong are about the same chances of us going to Beijing, because it's basically the same kind of city now. And it sucks that we had such an amazing memory there, and I've literally just thought about it, that even William maybe in the future will not be able to go to the city or the country where his mum and dad got married. The way that China is basically breaking the contract that was made back in 1997 is absolutely disgusting. I'm not a political kind of guy, but some things are just absolutely disgusting that go on in the world, and the way that China can just do that, break the contract, take Hong Kong away from the people of Hong Kong that we gave it to as Brits 23 years ago is pretty deplorable. And it's pretty heartbreaking to know that there are 3 million British overseas national passport holders that maybe now feel completely abandoned by the British. And also I met a Hong Kong guy recently that's actually married to a Taiwanese girl. I said to him, are you worried? And his answer was pretty profound. He told me there is nothing for him to worry about because there is no hope. All hope is gone, so what's the point in worrying? Which is, again, to harp on the same point of this video, is pretty heartbreaking to listen to, and I'm sure it's equally heartbreaking for people like him and the other 6 or 7 million people that live there. Okay, and on to number 3, which I kind of focused on in the last point, and that's my ex-wife. And I'm not even sure if that's the first time I've referred to her as my ex-wife on this channel. Usually I will kind of try to hide the situation from people, call her my baby mama or William's mom, or just use her name Amor. But maybe the more tacitly aware people amongst you will have picked up on the fact that we've been separated for quite some time. But yeah, of course, any relationship that breaks down is going to be heartbreaking to some degree, and that one was definitely something that I really suffered from when that relationship didn't work out. And despite, of course, all of that heartbreak that I went through, and of course that she went through, we are the closest of friends now. When I get drunk and don't know what to do or don't know who to call, Amor is the first person in my list of people to call, and she'll listen to me blabbering on about my life and maybe some other relationships that are not going so well or have broken down. She will listen and she will give me advice and tell me that, you know, it's worth battling on. When I think about quitting YouTube, she's the first one to tell me, don't give up, keep going. You're doing something amazing and William is so proud of you. But yeah, even though it's absolutely all G between us now, it's still heartbreaking to know that that relationship could have been something amazing, but for one reason or another, it had to come to an end. Okay, and on to another specific time that I can remember definitely being heartbroken in Taiwan. This takes me back to, I think, 2010 or 2011, and that's when I got a phone call from my sister to tell me that my grandfather had died. My dad's dad, he was in his 80s, he was pretty sick before he died. And probably the most heartbreaking thing about it was not the fact that he died. I mean, everybody dies, we kind of accept that, but the fact that I wasn't there. I was here in Taiwan, and my family had to deal with that themselves. Of course, I flew back immediately for the funeral. We actually had a great funeral. This is something that Taiwanese people maybe won't understand. We got absolutely hammered. My granddad was a big beer drinker. We even poured a pint for him and put it on the table next to his photo, but that's not the point. The point was I was in Taiwan when he died, and I think that's the worst situation for an expat to be in, is you're living your life over here, maybe your family are going through things that you don't really know about or things that they don't want to tell you. But getting that phone call from my sister, I really felt disappointed in myself. I should have gone back when I heard he was sick. I guess a part of it is you kind of just hope that they're going to be okay, and if you go back while they're sick, you're kind of admitting there's a possibility that they may pass away in the future, and people don't want to admit that. I'm not sure if that's true or not. But at the time he died, I think I was probably about 28 or 29 years old. Definitely a fully grown man that's got responsibilities and should be able to take the burden of his family's sadness on his shoulders. And I kind of felt I didn't do that. I didn't look after my family, my sister, my mum and dad especially. And another thing that can relate it back to being an expat in Taiwan is I had to tell my boss that I needed time off immediately to go back for a funeral within the next week. And she's pretty sensitive and she completely understood. And I think she could see that there were tears in my eyes, and maybe she wanted to give me a hug. Didn't know if that's what we do or the right thing to say. But I also could feel the Taiwanese people just don't know what to say. The cultures around grief are so different. But yeah, being an expat in Taiwan just adds another level of difficulty to the grief that you're already going through when somebody dies back home in the UK. Okay, and number 5, and probably the final thing that I'm actually going to talk about in this video, came in January this year when I decided to make the change from being a teacher to being a full-time YouTuber, and I had to say goodbye to some of the most influential people on my life over the past 12 years here in Taiwan. Even now, I still cry when I think about the people that were in my life there. The students, of course, that goes without saying. As a teacher, you love to see your students grow and develop and go from learning the ABCs to entering high school and even university, but you kind of expect the kids to grow up and leave and go on with their lives and become amazing. But the co-workers that I met in that school, some of whom I met on my very first day, March 18th, 2008, and I absolutely fell in love with them. And they were still there when I left. Yes, of course, I can keep in touch with them if they want to, but there's never going to be that feeling of closeness or sharing the same goal and sharing the same dream. But yeah, to everybody that worked with me in that job for 12 years, with my English co-teachers, Rita, Kate, Lester, Peter, Tom, Ellen, and Matt. I'm sure there are many people I've forgotten. Not to mention, of course, the people that were there for the whole 12 years, receptionist Candy, and of course my boss, Claire. You had such an influence on my life over the past 12 years and really made me into the person that I've become. And the reason that I've included it in this video is just to show how heartbreaking and difficult it is to take a step out of your comfort zone and try to do something different. Okay, and there you have it, 5 ways in which my heart has been broken in Taiwan. Probably a very different video to what you're used to. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means leave a comment down below, hit the like button, let me know if you've liked it. But I should say one thing, those 5 are not the only 5 times my heart has been broken. There have been relationships that have broken my heart in Taiwan. Maybe I won't get into those anytime soon. I think it's time to say goodbye. And as for now, and as always, I'll see you next time in My Life in Taiwan.